someone
I was
goes,
like,
someone goes,
Check to make sure who had greens, who didn't.
it was so weird. Senior night.
Marcus doesn't have any green on.
someone goes, aren't you a big Notre Dame fan? Kelly Green, I said, for one thing, I'm not a Notre Dame fan, and two, I don't have any Kelly Green. I have other greens that work. Not a specific green to wear.
Said that counts. It probably counts.
Well, I'm Catholic and O'Neill is Irish, and I said, weren't you a big Notre Dame fan? No, I hate Notre Dame.
And you got the clock set too.
Hate is a strong word, Tony.
I hate
It's
it.
in there. You just,
Oh, wow.
It's a little black
More so
thing.
than
So you're not happy. Jeremy just got season tickets a couple weeks ago. He bit the bullet.
That's right.
Yeah,
They found the
football.
remote.
Yep.
I'm going to
Yep.
need to talk to him.
I said, I don't understand. I thought we were going to wait one more year because of golf. I'm like, we can't go to a single game. We have golf tournaments every weekend. He's like, yeah, I know. I'll just sell the ones we can't go to. I'm like, oh, every weekend.
Nick.
Okay.
Bye, Sam.
I don't know.
The Purdue ones are a lot cheaper.
Nick.
True story. True story.
Said if we win, but not here later.
I can appreciate that.
We might win 3 this next year. 2 early.
Yep.
I don't know who the third one's going to be, but
That's how it works.
yeah, our schedule didn't change much.
Hopefully alumni
You
is
have contacts in
forking
and
out
you
some
can't see
NIL
it.
money.
Well, I heard a story that we held NIL money back last year because a coach got hired late. So all the players that were eligible, all the good ones were gone. So we kind of just picked up who we could. So we picked up
My
some
mom's
better
going
ones
to go to
this year,
Costco to get hers.
we think.
She had
There
that
you go.
surgery, so.
But are they good enough to compete with the rest of the Big Ten?
Which is really good to know because
What's that?
About to find out.
here doesn't go.
Probably not.
What?
6 months, we'll know.
Today, I started getting sad because the
Only took me twice.
Butler athletic page
That's
started
my favorite
posting,
class
and this
is
player entered the transfer
Louisville.
portal, and this
Knew
player
I
entered
would
the
do
transfer.
that.
I'm
I had
like,
everything
Yeah,
by the door when
here we go again.
we got those two.
Yeah.
I set my glasses on
Black
top
and
of my
gold game in the
book
spring.
bag.
I've been down there a few
And I'm like,
times.
they blended in. I'm like, I'll pick up my book
You know, it'd be
bag.
nice if I had the format ahead of time because it kind
Sure
of
enough.
changes.
That's exactly what
Coach to
happened.
coach,
Sorry
it
to hear
changes,
that.
but from year to year, sometimes we
Me
switch
too.
it up and like, what's going on here?
It's good to see Andrew's family of girls.
And
Oh, like
I got
3?
home 3:30. I got home about 3:30, just as the game was getting ready to start. So that was great
Animation.
timing for me.
Craig's not here, so we'll want to make sure that they're on when we're ready.
Yeah.
sorry?
Andrew's on it, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Get a good dose of C.
I take my.
Good evening, everyone. It's 6 o'clock, so we're going to get started. I'd like to welcome everyone to the DeKalb County Central United School District Board of Education regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026. At this time, I'll ask all that are able to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Angie, could you do a roll call, please?
Present.
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 Thank you, Angie. At this time, we will begin our evening with our presentations.
All right, with us this evening, we have Waterloo Elementary, and I'm going to turn it over to Principal Amanda Rice.
Thank you so much for having us here tonight so that we can share just a little bit about our community partnerships and what they look like as a Wildcat. So at Waterloo, we have 3 main focus areas for our students: to do the right thing, treat people right, and leave it better than you found it. We believe if we can do those 3 things, then we're able to create an environment where we can all thrive. And tonight, I'd like to talk about how we leave it better than we found it. We try to provide ways that we can model this for our students and give back to the community in which they live. And as you can see, we've got a lot of various activities that we have done to get students involved in giving back to our community. From student-run events like the toy drive, the food drive, and the mural uptown to some more adult organized events like Treats Before Dark, Career Day, and the Shelter Drive. We try to model and include students in a variety of events. And today I want to literally talk about how we have left our mark on the town. Oops. How do I go back? I got happy clicking. Thank you. So we were approached by the town of Waterloo and Mrs. Books a few years ago or a year ago, and they wanted to paint a mural on the side of one of the buildings in the heart of Waterloo. Our students brainstormed with Mrs. Books on the different images and symbols that represented Waterloo. They collaborated on ways that they could incorporate those into the overall design, and then they edited it to make sure it looked just how they wanted it. And finally, they were able to volunteer their time to go up and actually paint the mural uptown. This past fall, we were recognized, we were actually contacted by the Disabled American Veterans due to our Purple Star status to see if we might be interested in raising some funds for their cause. So our students and families spread the word, and they were able to raise $1,250 for the Disabled American Veterans. And in partnership with them, they sent us flags. So for every 250 that we raised, they sent us 25 flags. The students then counted all the flags and they figured out a grid, they plotted, and then they planted the flags for our Veterans Day program. This spring, we are once again leaving our mark on the town of Waterloo. We are very excited to be a part of their planter box art display that they're having uptown. Waterloo Elementary was integral in getting the town of Waterloo put on the Monarch Way Station International Registry. We were one of the first towns to be put on this registry, and now there are thousands of them. So in honor of that history, our students are all going to be creating their very own butterfly, and they will be painting it on that planter box, which will be on display uptown all summer. And then this fall, it will be auctioned off to raise money for the Downtown Business Association. So as you can see, we're working really hard to provide our students with lots of different opportunities so that they can give back to the town and leave it better than they found it. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Moving on, I'll ask the board to adopt and amend the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item F is our consent agenda. This is items F1 through F5. This includes our board minutes, financial report, claims, personnel, and field trips. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, on the financials, Mark, were you able to put together that difference for what I asked for at the last board meeting? I didn't see it in
Yeah,
the
just
board packet.
so the board can understand, we have budgeted currently in the education fund $27,835,143. If you looked at the education report, our budget is approved for $28 million, so I stay below that number. And then our revenue that's expected to come in from the state, the board and everyone needs to understand, we're a little over 29 million of what I'm anticipating. That's going to be lower than that as ADM comes in twice a year. We got our ADM, which was actually fairly good news that we got for our spring number. It was the lowest decline we've seen in years. Our net, I think, was 16 students.
Yep.
So that's a positive number. The discrepancy in revenue to expense, number one, I don't budget necessarily based all on revenue. We have a cash balance in our education fund and in our operations funds. So some of that money could be spent down from there. I'm hopeful that we don't have to do either one of those with either one of the funds. Any money that comes in over where that $28 million will be with the education fund, well, I'll talk about both of them, but with the education fund, that is meant for me to pad our education fund balance. As I look at the next couple of years, remember we're gonna be losing LIT, which feeds directly into our education fund. That equates to about $600,000 a year. So I'm trying to pad that fund as much as I can to see what's going to happen at the state level in terms of state's tuition support. and keep in mind that we may still need to be looking at, I haven't had to do it in the last couple of years, but education fund can supplement the ops fund if we need it to. We've transferred in years past $500,000 of that. That can make up that difference if you're looking at the revenue to expense. With the ops fund, it's kind of the opposite direction. Our anticipated revenue with the operations fund is about $10,300,000, and we're budgeted at the state level for ops $10,500,000, which right now I'm forecasting in our budget about $10,360,000 if I remember right with that number. So we're a little upside down revenue, but again, that would be through cash balance would make up the difference between the revenue and the expense in the ops fund. So when I budget, you know, obviously I have to look at the revenue I think I'm going to bring in from property taxes and from state tuition support. Those are the two big buckets for the ed and the ops funds. And I just kind of work from there with cash balance. And, you know, it's I don't like to say it's a guessing game. But a lot of it, remember, when we budget on a calendar year, when we operate in a fiscal year, the state doesn't make it very easy for me because ADM happens well after I've budgeted. So I have no idea what's going to happen with the ADM, which is one of the reasons that we do our demographic studies, things like that, try to see trends. Obviously, you guys know our trend has been in the last few years, our ADM has been going down. We're hoping to correct that. It's a great sign in the spring through our virtual academy and things like that, that we're picking up our students again. In my opinion, that's why the number's so low at 16. That's a fantastic sign when we've been looking at 40, 50 kids in the spring ADM, seeing it go down. So that's a positive trend in my mind, and I'm hopeful we'll see that go positive in the next couple of years in terms of ADM. I don't know if that answers everything that you wanted with that, Tony, or, and I'm happy to get together with any board member to go over how I budget individual items and things like that. And the board will see those numbers shift, like you're going to see probably as soon as next month, my anticipated revenue in terms of what I'm budgeting, that will probably go down from the $29 million. I constantly am updating the budget. So I just try to keep the numbers as close as I can to where I've budgeted for the state, because I can't spend over that $28 million without coming to the board. Actually, it would be Steve coming to the board saying, hey, we need to appropriate a little more funds to spend in ed or ops. I don't ever want to have to put Steve in that position because that makes me look bad. So we'll keep our spending under that $28 million. And again, also for the board, remember that I decreased both of the budgets from last year. Last year in the education fund, we were at $28.9, so I shaved off $900,000 there. Again, all anticipating what the state is doing to us in funding. We've got to be proactive in terms of our budget. Just came back from a great conference that I attended, several financial, and that was the talk, you know, what's going to happen with funding. And that's not just Indiana, that's a nationwide conference we attended. Every state is in the same position when it comes to public education. Budgets are being slashed, and many schools dealing with RIFs, you know, reductions in their teaching force. And I'm just thankful we're not in that position at DeKalb, and I will always be proactive when I budget to make a line item for savings and to pad our cash balances.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Any further discussion? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Item H, item G, are donations.
Yeah, once again, several donations to report to the board. Kelsey Wirtz, our innovation coach, received a $250 donation from Rathburn Precision Machining for the robotics program, so we're very thankful for that contribution. And then we had a number of donations to the high school reported by Mr. Wagner. We had over $3,600 for the boys soccer program from Three Rivers Barricade, from the political campaign of Vote Dooley, $300 to the Unified Sports Bowling Program, and then New Millennium donated $600 to the baseball program. So once again, our community showing an outpouring of support for our students and their programs.
That's awesome, thank you. Okay, now item H is report of the superintendent.
All right, I do have one recommendation that I'm carrying for Mr. Wagner, the principal from the high school. DeKalb High School Principal Marcus Wagner is recommending Mr. Andrew Bigelow for the position of Athletic Director at DeKalb High School, pending, of course, your board approval. Mr. Bigelow has served as the associate principal at the high school for the past 2 years, where he has overseen student discipline, staff supervision, and evaluation, and assisted with curriculum leadership. He has also helped strengthen the school's climate and culture through initiatives such as convocations, guest speakers, and student engagement activities. Prior to his current role as associate principal, Mr. Bigelow served 9 years as an instructional coach at DeKalb High School, supporting teachers with professional development and instructional improvement. He also taught social studies for 9 years and has been a dedicated staff member at DeKalb Central now for 21 years, which is just amazing. Mr. Bigelow brings significant athletic and officiating experience to the role. His background includes serving as head girls soccer coach for 2 seasons, head boys track coach for 5 years. He is currently a Major League Soccer referee with over 250 matches officiated during the past 12 years, and he has also officiated at the high school and NCAA levels while serving as an IHSAA soccer assigner. He is certainly familiar with the school community. Combined with his leadership and athletic experience, this will allow for a smooth transition into the athletic director's role. The position will be a 240-day contract with a base salary of $95,000 plus administrative benefits, beginning July 1st of 2026. Mr. Bigelow will remain in his current role for the remainder of the school year while a transition plan is developed. I think those conversations have already started, and it makes it very good for a transition with Mr. Bigelow already in the building. Mr. Bigelow, I should also comment, is a graduate of DeKalb High School. He's committed to continuing the strong tradition of Barron athletics and supporting the success of our student athletes. So I bring this for the board's consideration. I could not support this recommendation more.
Thank you, Steve. This time I'll ask the board for a motion to approve the athletic director position.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Congratulations, Mr. Bigelow.
It wasn't so bad, was it?
Would you like to come up and say a few words? Since all your girls came.
Great to see your family.
Yeah.
I appreciate the support of the board this evening and the consultation with Mr. Wagner over several weeks here and everything to get to this point here and make this decision both personally and professionally. Appreciate having a daughter in a DeKalb Barron basketball shirt tonight, a daughter in a DeKalb soccer shirt, among other activities, and them being a big part of this as well. But as the recommendation from Mr. Wagner said, DeKalb athletics, DeKalb High School has just been a big part of everything I've done, and for those two worlds to kind of combine here with my current athletic background in Major League Soccer and everything, I can't think of a better way to move forward both personally and professionally. So looking forward to all of the great things that have been coming through the board with facilities and updates and climate and culture and just so many good things, seeing it at the elementary level with my daughter Emmy, 2 daughters at the middle school, and then obviously at the high school, just lots of positives going and looking to do my part to make DeKalb athletics continue to be a big part of that. So thank you again for your support and just excited to get started. So
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to item H2, or policies, first reading and adoption.
Thank you. Yes, so last month during our regular meeting, I introduced and reviewed 5 policies that needed revised, updated, and so that information was shared with you after that meeting. Those policies revisions were posted on our website for the public to be able to view and question. Having received no comments, no questions, We're going to move forward tonight with what we would consider legally our first reading, and then a motion to approve the policies. And once that is taken care of, then Angie and I will get to work on revising those within our policy handbooks and updating. We're still in the process, just so you know, with Neola converting those numbers. ISBA is working on changing the numbers for us, so these will fall under new numbers. And we're getting it piece by piece, but it's a pretty big ordeal to get those all switched. So just for the sake of remembering last month, the policies that I am recommending this evening, policy 2412, the homebound instruction program, we basically struck out the Neola policy completely. It was obsolete. Not a lot of new information, just more clarity about our process and what that looks like and what we've been doing. Policy 5111, the determination of legal settlement and eligibility and enrollment of students without legal settlement in the corporation. Again, this was one that was obsolete, and we needed to revise it and bring it up to speed, which we've done. The one thing that we always try to remember to emphasize with folks is this is an annual requirement. If you are seeking out-of-district transfers, it must be done annually. Policy 144.1, compensation for board members. The revision included changing the basic compensation from $1,800 to $1,900. Policy 5541, credit for religious instruction or release time. The option now is whether or not the school grants credit for outside religious instruction. And the policy will read, if approved, that DeKalb High School will not grant credit for religious instruction. And finally, policy 0142.3, board vacancies. This was revised to reflect our process, again, outdated and needed revision. The laws have changed, so we're aligned to them and have practiced it the way it's written, and so that will be now replaced and up to speed for us. So our next step then would be to consider this as our first reading. And again, hearing no public comment, getting no public comment. Mrs. Armstrong, I don't know, do you want to ask again this evening for that?
I'm sorry, I have lost like either internet connection or I can open like our packet, but it's not letting me open any.
Can someone ask? Can someone else ask?
Sure, yeah.
Like our treasurer,
Secretary.
secretary?
Ask. Well, if there's any public comment, we can take any public comment this
Yeah.
evening.
Anyone signed up?
Yeah, no one has signed up. I didn't get anything
Okay,
from Angie,
Nothing?
so.
Okay, great. All right, so that being said then, I'm recommending that the school board consider approving these policy updates and revisions and approve them to be put into place.
All right, thank you, Lori. I'm just gonna work from paper right now. At this time, I'll ask the board for a motion to approve our policies.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Will this be done and we'll vote on it again next month?
This will be done. Tonight it's
Done.
done.
Tonight it's
I
last.
may
Says
have a
first
couple new ones for you.
Right.
We're working on Senate Bill 78, and so we'll hopefully have some language to look at that.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you, Lori.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Item H3 is our 2026 summer school.
I can't even believe we're here already talking about this and thinking about this with administration. In my memo, I'll just kind of review that with you. What I'm seeking tonight is approval to move forward, get permission to conduct summer school programming, and be able to move forward with the posting and hiring of summer school positions. You'd think this would happen really quick, but really the time that we need to get this taken care of and in place gets a little bit trickier every year, because a lot of our data that we use to determine how many students are going to need summer school, not just want it, is a moving target. And in fact, for the elementary this year, it's going to happen at the very last minute. So the sooner we can get things organized and in place, the better. So this is kind of the way we've done it in the past, where I ask you to consider, number one, approving to conduct summer school, and then allowing us to move forward with posting the positions that we know we're going to need, and then going through interview process if necessary, and getting those ready for board approval to hire as soon as we have qualified candidates. So the second page of my memo, and I'll just share this if I could publicly, just the dates. The elementary will be running from May 28th to June 10th. That's 2 full weeks. Elementary summer school will consist of I-read remediation in preparation for that third and final administration. This is a crucial time for this type of instruction because the third and final determines whether or not a third grader will be retained if they do or don't pass the test. High school will be running from May 28th to June 17th. That's a 4-week stretch for the high school as usual. Times for the elementary will be from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock a.m. and from 7:30 to 11:30 for the high school. Transportation will be provided for all summer school students this year that will be coming to school. We'll be offering some online, and we have a lot of high school kids that transport themselves, but we still, while we can, feel like it's important if these students need this summer school, if we can provide them transportation, because many of them don't have it. So again, I explained a little bit about the third grade, the I-read results. Second graders will also be eligible to attend, those who scored at risk on the first administration. So those will be the kiddos that'll be here with us this summer. We haven't decided completely yet, but I think we're gonna narrow it. Last year, we divided it up into 2 elementaries. I think we're gonna probably just stick with 1 elementary. Principals maybe rotate some time on the supervision, and it will help transportation a little bit by doing it that way. High school will be offering 2 in-person classes for credit recovery, English language arts and mathematics. Those will be taught by certified teachers in person again. And then the other courses that I shared with you that are listed, science, social studies, career and tech ed, physical education 1 and 2. I listed those specifically because those are the other courses that do qualify for state reimbursement. It's a short list. It's gotten shorter every year. That being said, those courses will be taught through Edmentum, our online program. They will be overseen by I think Mr. Lees and anybody else, depending on our numbers, how many we will need to be in that classroom. The additional courses that are not on the list would not qualify for state reimbursement. That means that we would have to pick up that amount. With it being an online course, that makes it a lot more feasible for us to do this and be able to offer a wider variety of courses for the kids. I would also mention, because it's true, I don't think all the years I've ever put summer school together that I've ever seen 100% reimbursement. We normally do not receive 100% reimbursement, nor even close to it for summer school. And now that the I-read mandates are in place, the first part of the funding is going to the elementary I-read remediation, and then the remainder will be divvied out. So that's a little bit about summer school. Again, we're also going to offer the SAE program. We get a question about that every year. That's a supervised agricultural experience, and then of course band. And those 2 are not reimbursed by the state, but they're important to our students and to our programming, and so we've stayed the course and hope we can do that as long as we can afford it. So again, just to recap that, what I'm asking for you tonight is permission to conduct summer school and then to post positions and get the hiring started as soon as we do. And of course, we would not finalize any hiring until it was brought forward to the board for consideration.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to the board to approve the 2026 summer school.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
Thank you.
I'm still offline. Okay, at this time, our item H4 is our lease agreement hearing. I will ask the board to suspend our regular board meeting, so I'll entertain a motion to do that, and then we will begin our lease hearing.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Our meeting is now open. I did not have anyone sign up in the audience, but if you wish to speak, you can reach Angie and we'll have your name and your address written down. Okay, the notice of this hearing was published and proposed and legally required. After this presentation, there will be an opportunity for the public to make comment for the lease rental to be paid under the lease and appropriation of bond proceeds. At the hearing, we'll ask each person to come up and speak if you wish to speak, and we'll just limit your discussion to this topic. Pursuant to Indiana Code 2047-3, before a school corporation may enter a lease with a nonprofit building corporation, the school corporation must conduct a hearing regarding the execution of the proposed lease agreement and whether the rental to be paid to the lesser building corporation under the proposed lease is a fair and reasonable rental for the proposed improvements. Similarly, before a school corporation can appropriate any dollars it directly receives as bond proceeds, it must conduct a hearing on those proceeds for the additional appropriations of those funds. We'll now hear from CFOO Mark Rahm about the proposed projects related to the lease and additional appropriations.
Thank you. We've been over the projects. I'll just highlight once again really quick. This is to do with our 2026 bond for our performing arts wing at DeKalb High School, the renovation and addition. We're going to be adding approximately close to 10,000 square feet of new building at the front of the high school. The real term is 9,730, but I like to say 10,000. It sounds better. We are also reprogramming almost 15,000 square feet worth of existing space in the band and performing arts wing. Along with that, we are going to be building a new Barron Activity Center, known shortly as the BAC. That will be a building of a little over 30,000 square feet attached to the current auxiliary gym at the high school. The total price tag of the bond project itself is close to $30 million. Again, just for the public and the board, just a reminder, tonight is the final piece of the puzzle to sell the bond. The board has already approved the bond. They've approved the projects. This process this evening is strictly for the method of selling the bond, which is through the building corporation. So this hearing is dealing with the building corporation. Obviously, we would field any questions on the project if people still had them. But this is mainly, I don't like to call it a formality. Eric would probably cringe if I said that, our bond counsel. But this is just the process of getting the building corporation approved by our school board. So that said, the additional appropriations that we talk about, I fielded a couple of phone calls from the public on this, and they were very happy when I gave them the answer. This is all, I have to post all of this in the newspapers. Believe it or not, some people actually read the legal sections of the newspaper, which was a surprise. I did field a couple phone calls, and they're like, whoa, wait a minute, you guys approved $30 million bond, and now you're asking for additional appropriations? We are not asking for more than $30 million. I want to make that very clear to everyone. That is strictly the number of the building corporation and the lease agreement we are doing to sell the bond. Okay, we will pay the proceeds to the building corporation, and then in turn pay our bonds. So we are in line with the appropriations. We are also with the terms of the lease that we are looking at. That all is lining up with the dollar amounts for the project that you guys have already approved. So everything is looking good for our building corporation. I met with the building corporation earlier today at 4 o'clock to get their approval of the lease. They have to sign off on it, and then our board has to sign off on it. So that's where we're at now. And if you want to start the hearing, or if I can field any questions, or if Eric is here, he will be going through the resolutions for you to approve. Again, these resolutions are strictly for the formation, and Eric will do a much better job than I am of butchering the building corporation talk and the resolutions. This is not about the bond and the project. This is about the building corporation and our relationship with that building corporation to be able to fund the bond.
Thank you, Mark. We'll now open the public hearing. As I mentioned earlier, if anyone would like to speak, you can come up to the podium and ask any questions to Mark or the board. No? Okay. All right. At this time, we will close this hearing. So I'll ask the board for a motion to close
I'll make that motion.
public hearing.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we will now be voting on each resolution as it relates to the bond. Eric Long from Ice Miller will discuss each resolution individually. Eric, could you please summarize the first resolution, the resolution authorizing execution of lease?
Certainly. Thank you, President Armstrong, members of the board, administration. Yes, once again, Eric Long with Ice Miller. It's my privilege to be here again this evening to discuss, as Mr. Ron mentioned, just the lease agreement and the appropriation of bond proceeds, which must occur in the year in which we're going to issue bonds, which is why we're doing this in 2026, not last year when this project was off the ground. So the first resolution is, as President Armstrong mentioned, the resolution authorizing the execution of the lease. This is the agreement with the building corporation that allows for the repayment of the bonds through property taxes, the same vehicle that we've utilized several times with DeKalb County Central in prior years through the building corporation financing process.
Thank you, Eric. Could I have a motion to adopt the resolution authorizing an execution of lease? I don't know, I'm struggling with that, sorry.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Eric, could you please summarize the additional appropriation resolution?
Yes, the additional appropriation resolution outlines the appropriation of funds received. So at closing on the bond issue, the school corporation may end up with dollars on its side of the ledger pursuant to Indiana law. To expend those proceeds, we have to have an additional appropriation process. So notice, hearing, and a resolution, again, for any the proceeds of the bonds that end up on the school side of the ledger. Obviously, with this being bond proceeds, it's going to be also, according to the resolution, placed in a specific construction account and spent only on the project. So this is specifically for the bond proceeds.
Thank you. Could I have a motion to adopt the additional appropriation resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Eric, could you please summarize the resolution assigning bids and contracts?
Yeah, this is just kind of a reservation of rights resolution. So the building corporation is going to be the issuer of the bonds and the holder of certain monies through a trust indenture. We have a trustee bank who's a fiduciary. As a result, sometimes contractors find it more streamlined and easier to have their contracts directly with the building corporation. Some prefer to have it still through the school corporation. This just allows the school board to assign any such contracts pursuant to those projects to be directly with the building corporation if those contractors and you guys choose accordingly. Again, not a requirement, just a reservation of rights to allow you to do so. Again, just to allow some expediency for the spend down of the bond proceeds for the projects.
Okay, thank you. Could I have a motion to adopt the resolution assigning bids and contracts?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All-
Discussion.
I don't believe we need discussion.
You can, if there's discussion, you can discuss.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we didn't need to.
That was for the beginning and ending of the hearing itself.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Are there timelines associated with any of either the adopted resolution or the approved supplement? Is there timelines or like draw points for the funding?
Now for that, I would defer to our design and construction folks, because from our perspective, we already have estimates for the projects, and when we get to the bond closing, it's going to be, and we can talk more about this, Mr. Rahman and I talked before this meeting, strategically, I think there is discussion about doing the bonds in more than one series so that you're only receiving proceeds as you see the need to draw them down. So instead of just having one bond closing and getting all the bond proceeds and letting them sit there, it's only going to be when you need the money. So with that, the timeline question I think that you're asking may involve more directly looking at the spend down and a draw schedule from the construction perspective. From our perspective, the resolutions that we're passing tonight don't place any restrictions or put any guardrails around that.
And I'll piggyback on that, Tony, for you. I've already begun conversations with Garmin Miller. It's tricky to bring, our last order tonight is approving our CMC. So it's hard for me to start having conversations with the CMC and GM until you guys approve that.
I just didn't know who was in control of the trigger.
I am.
They're not.
They are not. I
So
am, and
that's-
I will
that
work
was
with
more of a
Garmin Miller. And again, if FCI is approved, that will be a conversation in design phase with FCI. Also Stiefel, who is, our financial bond representative. I've already begun conversations with Luke Bruggeman there, who you guys have met before, to determine how we want to draw out this $30 million. That comes from conversations with FCI and Garmin Miller. Hey, what's our time frame on construction? When are my big checks going to need to be written? I'll work with them in conjunction with Stiefel, and we'll determine if we can spread this out a little bit. And those conversations have already begun. Again, it's a little tricky. I don't like to have those. I don't like to make assumptions, by having those conversations before the bond is actually sold or before we're ready to get to that point. But those conversations will start in earnest after this evening.
It's fine. Yeah, again, who was the trigger point?
Yep.
They or
That's us.
contractors?
That's me working with our CMC and architectural crew.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Eric, could you please summarize the resolution authorizing the 7th supplement to master continuing disclosure, undertaking, and insurance of bonds?
Certainly, yes. So anytime we do a public bond issue such as the one proposed here, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC on the federal level, requires a school corporation to make certain promises to bondholders while those bonds are outstanding. So it's things like updating your enrollments on an annual basis, your top 10 taxpayers, things like that. So this is just authorizing the execution of that securities document. You mentioned 7th supplement, so obviously this is the 7th time we've been through this. For every public bond issue that we do, this is a requirement. So this is just the 7th time with the same contract, essentially, with bondholders.
Thank you. Could I have a motion and a second to adopt the resolution authorizing the 7th supplement?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you for your
All
time.
right, thank you. This is
Thanks,
the end
Eric.
of our bond-related resolutions. Okay, that brings us to item H9, our CMC recommendation.
As promised, the CMC recommendation for the board. I won't read the entire memo that I wrote up for the board. We have had a long-standing relationship with FCI. We did receive 4 bids for the CMC position with this project. It came down to 2, and we went through, Steve and I had numerous discussions. FCI has been a valuable partner, as you all are aware, on our last project with the football stadium. They're a local contractor that has been fantastic to work with. They are our current CMA on the pavilion project. Although we did have one bid that came in lower in terms of the monthly fixed expenses, I believe, I would love to get this done in 24 months. Going through the football stadium renovation, hopefully that will happen. But if we go over just a little bit, FCI will have made that money up in just the blank bid that they have to give us for CMC. In talking to some of my cohorts, it's important to keep in mind that the bid they give for CMC is just to get their foot in the door. And I'm not saying anything against the other firms in terms of maybe those numbers could be, deflated a little bit and may rise a little bit as this project got off the ground. I have full faith in both companies that our decision came down to. But FCI, having been in the last project, having donated, I want to remind our community and the board, if you've forgotten, and I'm sure Nick or Tyler could give me the exact dollar amount, although they probably wouldn't want to, in the number of bricks they donated for our concession building. I mean, they donated almost the entire amount of materials needed for that. They have valuable partnerships with local industry that I'm hopeful that we'll be able to possibly get some donations towards this project. Being local is important to me. People that work at FCI obviously have children in our district, have, a lot of buy-in on these projects, and they've been fantastic and saved us a lot of money as a district in the last couple of years since I've been in this position. So you see the breakdown, their pre-con fee of $64,900, their construction fee of 2% was in line with just about everybody, and their monthly construction management fee was lower than everybody at $21,700. So that's what we're gonna pay every month that goes by. We're gonna be paying that amount of money. So I would bring that recommendation to the board. FCI is in attendance. If you have CMC direct questions, that's sure gonna go to them and not to me. But I'd be happy to answer any questions I could, or I'm sure Tyler or Nick would as well.
Okay, thank you, Mark. At this time, I'll ask the board for a motion to approve FCI as our construction manager.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I think anytime we can stay locally, like you've said, and I don't know how many people that work for you that live in the greater DeKalb County area, it's probably comfortable knowing that they only have to drive to work and be there in 15 minutes for a period of time, as opposed to driving to Michigan, no offense to Michigan, or Ohio, or Indianapolis. So I think this is a positive relationship that we've created.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes.
Thank you.
This brings us to item I, which is our miscellaneous, and I will open that up to our board for anything.
Go ahead.
Again, I think we're moving forward in the right direction. Right now, we've got somewhere around we're gonna have $45 million in capital project costs that are gonna be going on over the next couple of years. So I would like to make a recommendation to the board, and we don't have to vote on it, we can discuss it later or even at the next board. I think we need to make sure that we get to see all of Mr. Vance's reports on all the project updates, but we don't share that very often in this meeting. I think we need to be transparent and start sharing those activities as to where we're at, what
Do you
we're
mean,
doing.
do you mean Mr. Vince?
Sorry, Vince.
Yeah.
Sorry. Start with a V, sorry. And, again, sharing that information with the community, I think is critical in going forward with positive intervention with what's going on, so. That's it.
Thank you.
Buckle up. Just found out today that one of our football players has to be a senior, is now a member of the North-South football team, so congratulations to Xavier Bell. It's always nice to get recognized for what we had a really good season, and one of our players is gonna represent DeKalb in that, I think it's a fall game. Summer? Summer, so. Where is that located? Somewhere. Somewhere, because it bounces around sometimes. All right, boys basketball. I know the season's over, but the team got recognized from it's IBCA, it's the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. Our varsity team was recognized as one of 29 teams to make the academic award. And that consists of your varsity roster having a GPA of 3.5 or higher. So I think that's I'm gonna say a congratulations to the parents, for keeping their kids going and keeping them focused during the season. I know that people say, well, they're busy, but, staying busy during any season, you're focused on a lot of things academically. Plus, we had two individuals that made honorable mention. Caden Rice, his mom is here, and Brady Culler. They both had to meet three conditions: GPA of 3.5 or higher, class rank of 25% or higher, and their SAT had to be 1100 or higher. So we're very proud of those three guys, and hopefully that will be leaders for the guys down the road, hopefully. So congratulations to them. Sticking with basketball, one of our coaches from the past, Cliff Hawkins, just got voted in this year as the Indiana High School Basketball Coaches Hall of Fame. He spent 12 years here, and I think he's retiring. He now has 604 wins and 402 losses, and I think probably the majority of his wins came from here. So I think he'll always be a Baron in most of our hearts. Barons get buckets. Mentioning that's Thursday. People are like, what is that? That's a fundraiser for one of our students. So that's Thursday from 6 to 8. There's all kinds of information on the media. It's in the newspaper. If you got nothing going on Thursday, bring your money, bring your wallet, bring your credit card, bring your phone so you can do the QR codes. But one of our students is in need of some assistance. So that's all I'll say there. Polar plunge went off with a bang, with a breeze, I guess. They raised nearly $4,000 the last I checked. So that was a great thing. I want to shout out to my middle school teachers, Mrs. Friels, Miss Vos, and Landon Bell. If you saw the video, Landon was the last guy. He was the guy in the penguin suit. Got in, and it's probably still wet. This thing is awful fuzzy, the last I knew those things were. And the last thing I always told my students when I was a teacher, we have one more week of school, then spring break. Some of them mentally shut down last week because it was in the 60s and 70s. I said, then you got 4 more weeks of the best weeks of your school career. So focus on what you need to do to be successful. Then you can shut down and then kick it into high gear for the last stretch.
Well done.
Wow.
Are you finished?
Yes, Lauren, I'm finished. You can go.
We got to attend the National School Board Conference in Louisville this past weekend, and there was a lot of different segments that were covered, but Mrs. Feaster and I, we were able to cover some of the AI and education. So I think it would be worth us discussing, possibly setting up a committee, focusing on AI integration and education kind of moving forward.
Yeah, I think we got an email today from Kelsey Wirtz about getting involved with that as well. So it was really interesting. I know I brought home some information to share with my own girls. So yeah, that's good.
It's here.
Evolving quickly.
Happening.
We need to
Not
have a
going
plan.
away.
No.
No. Yeah. It's a great conference. We had a lot of good learning, a lot of great sessions, and good time getting to get Lauren on board. And yeah, it was a great weekend. So
Yeah, there was lots of different breakout sessions with finance and building and AI and
School boards,
multiple.
a lot of school board meetings.
Yeah. We had some pretty awesome speakers too. Mrs. Huxtable,
Claire
Huxtable.
was there.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, how about administration, anything?
I don't have anything specific. I was just writing down, thinking about just all the things our kids are involved with. We have so many things. Tony, you referenced several of them. You start listing things, and then we're going to forget some of those
Yeah.
too down the line. But show choir advancing to state. I think Winter Guard was in state last weekend. I think we got percussion coming up at regionals. Their state's getting close. I think we've got. There's so much. Unified Bowling competed at state, 5th and 6th respective. I mean, just so many different things. It's hard to name many of them because we tried to recognize them here in these meetings, but on our social media feeds as well. But it just shows that our kids are involved in a lot of things. So that's great to see that they're involved in things outside of the school day. They tend to be a little more successful in school when they're involved in school activities. So that is great to see. So good luck to all of our Barons who are participating, competing, and all of our soon-to-be Barons in the elementary level, because they've got their own things that they're involved with as well, whether it's robotics that have been going on, non-concluded, or science fair, just all the different things that have happened over the course of the winter season and things yet to come. So it's just exciting to see how many things they're involved with.
I was going to mention spring is in the air, but we didn't have a meeting on Saturday or Sunday, so obviously Mother Nature has taken that buzz off of us for a few days. But obviously spring sports are going. I'm glad I'm not coaching this spring, but they're out there practicing and doing whatever if they can find gym time. But spring is officially Thursday or Friday, so maybe it'll get better from here.
Does anyone else from the audience have anything to say? Okay.
Yeah, I just, Matt Vince, I work for the district.
You should come to the microphone. They won't be able to hear you online.
Our phones will start blowing up, Matt.
They want to hear you.
Thank you, Valerie. Is it on?
Yes.
I'm Matt Vince. I work for the district. I'm
in facilities and maintenance. And I just want to thank Mr. Rum for making the recommendation, the board for approving FCI as our CMC. I can tell you that in my role, I work with these guys daily. Some of the folks at FCI will probably tell you I'm a very good nag because I'm constantly emailing, texting, and calling and checking on things. I can tell you that in my role firsthand that FCI goes above and beyond on all the projects that we've paid them to do, but I can also call Tyler Wolf, and Tyler's been instrumental in every other project that I've been involved in. I can call him, I can text him, he shows up, he comes over, he looks at things with me and gives us his advice for free as an incredible community partner. So very happy to, this is a huge project, probably the biggest project for the district since McKinney in terms of dollar amount and time, and so very excited and very confident that this will go well. And you've made my job a lot easier by choosing FCI, so thank you. I just wanted to add that because I think they deserve that public.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor. Anyone else? Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you guys all for being here tonight. I hope everyone has a wonderful spring break, whether you're traveling or staying home, that you all get some rest and recharge for the next, finish out strong the next few weeks. So, okay, I'll read into the minutes that our next regular board meeting is April 21st here at Central Office. I think we have possibly a work session coming along, but we'll nail down that date and get that information out to everyone. Okay, anything else? Okay, at this time, I'll ask the board to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.